Welcome to First of His Name podcast. I am your co-host, Tone Roy.
I am your co-host, Sheldon Calhoun.
And I'm your co-host, Lord G. Dot.
There we go. We got our other co-host in the building finally.
Finally.
Lord G. Dot. Gibran is in the building.
Gibran, yes.
What is up, G. Dot? How you feeling?
I feel great, man. Sorry I couldn't join you guys for the other joints, but shit happens. We're on different time zones, and but that's about it, though. I'm locked in, I'm tuned in, so yeah, that's what it is.
All right, ready to finally get started with chopping up on this Game of Thrones?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, bet. This episode covers the fourth episode of season 1, titled Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things.
The last episode we covered episode 3 of season 1, which was entitled Lord Snow. Pretty much what happened in that episode was Jon heads to the wall with Lord Tyrion. He impresses Lord Tyrion when he gets to the wall. Ned shows up in King's Landing for the first time since Robert's Rebellion 17 years ago. He confronts his past and future at King's Landing while there. And we also see Daenerys and Viserys find themselves at odds with one another. So that's pretty much what we covered in the last podcast, episode 3, Lord Snow. And like my man Sir Tone Roy said, my apologize, Sir Knight.
Yes, it is, sir. I'm a knight, sir.
My bad. I apologize, sir. Like you said, we'll be covering episode 4, Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things. Tone, you want to get us started into that?
Yeah, my fault for stepping on the recap for for episode 3. But yeah, we are going to talk about episode 4. And episode 4 opens with Bran in the courtyard in Winterfell running around practicing his archery, and he sees a crow, and he follows rather he sees the raven, and he follows the raven, and for the first time we see the three-eyed raven. And from there he awakes because it was a dream. But it's a dream. It's weird that he's having these dreams, already at such a young age, right?
Yeah. And it's if you notice, all of this started happening after the fall. None of this was happening before he was pushed out of the window by Jaime.
Once he became crippled, then his journey, that's where the journey started for him, really, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And from there we cut to Theon, old Nan, and Bran and Summer and Hodor all in the room together, and Theon pretty much telling them that they got a visitor at the castle, and he has to be in attendance for the visitor.
Right. So yeah, we got old Nan, and she speaks on the little prince having dreams again. She's witnessed him have these dreams since he's been crippled. So
since his fall,
fall. And when Theon comes in, he speaks to him about, like, listen, I know you don't want to do this, but Rob's the Lord of Winterfell. He tells me what to do. I tell you what to do, kind of.
I just want to touch on something that you guys said about the sight. That's something that's going to be an ongoing thing in Game of Thrones. You might not know the person. It might not be like a big showmanship of it, but sight is something that is an ongoing theme in Game of Thrones. It happens to a couple characters, not many, but having that sight, is something that a lot of people should pay attention to.
Absolutely, looking forward for sure.
Yeah.
And next, from there we see, if I'm not mistaken, Tone. My apologies for stepping on the.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, from there we see Tyrion and Yoren from Castle Black. They just showed up from Castle Black, and Winterfell is their first stop from Castle
on the way. Yeah, heading south, heading back south. They Tyrion arrives back at Winterfell, and well, you want to touch on this scene, G-Dot?
No, I will let Sheldon touch on it. Pause.
Okay. Yeah, no. So right here we have Lord Tyrion. He is trying to present Bran with some instructions on how to build a saddle for a cripple.
For archery,
yeah. So he's trying to pretty much get him, because apparently he has a soft spot in his heart for crippled bastards and broken things, is
Yeah.
what we hear in this scene.
Yeah, and that's where we get the title of
The show.
of the episode itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Tyrion arrives back, and a little detail I want to point out is the back and forth between he and Rob.
Absolutely.
How it was another example of Lannister versus Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Lannister versus Stark, from Jaime and Ned to Jaime and Jon Snow. Bastard, but he's still a Stark. He's looked at as a Stark.
Absolutely.
In most ways, other than his last name. But I think that it was the lowest level that we've seen so far. Even with because initially when before Bran arrived, Tyrion was speaking to Rob, and Rob was kind of
yeah, he was a little snappy
little snippy to it. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then
Absolutely.
when Tyrion gave him Bran the saddle, or the blueprints for the saddle, the riding saddle, Rob kind of like offered the hospitality. He said, "You welcome to stay at Winterfell." And Tyrion's like, "Hey man, let's not fool each other. I'll go to a brothel, like typical Tyrion fashion, right? We've learned this man already. We know."
Absolutely.
And he said, "We'll all sleep better knowing that I'm where I'm at instead of being here." Right? I thought that was a nice,
and then right after that, you see Tyrion and Theon having a little, some snappy words with each other. You know what I mean? It was almost kind of like the same type of deal, if you will, because Theon is pretty much, trying to insult him by calling him imp and dwarf.
Yeah.
And
Tyrion
comes back with his own insults.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me how you just became so loyal to your captors, calling them Lord and Lady Stark.
Yeah.
And these were the people who captured you when
exactly.
y'all had when your fathers rebelled against the crown and all of this stuff. So it was just like a ongoing back and forth between these two. Like it's good to see, and it's also great to remember these scenes for future episodes.
Right, because it'll always be one of those good reference points. But again, for the audience list, we're going to reiterate: Theon Greyjoy is the ward of Ned Stark from the previous battle in Robert's Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yes. So Theon became part of the Stark family as
at the age of like 13 or something like that. He was
so again, it wasn't Robert's Rebellion. I'm corrected because he wasn't young.
It was the Greyjoys' rebellion.
It was the Greyjoys' rebellion against Robert that they lost.
Yes,
and Ned took Theon Greyjoy from Balon Greyjoy, and he killed Theon's his brother.
He slayed two of his brothers. And
two of Theon's brothers, Balon's sons, and the brother Euron escaped.
But imagine beating somebody's ass and then taking their kid and raising them. That's the wildest thing of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we fucked y'all up, but we're gonna take y'all kid and then raise them as our own.
That was another point I was making as far as how he became the ward of him. It wasn't some abandoned child that they found or whatever that you could consider he taking a ward. He just taken him. He took him literally.
Yeah.
From his father. As I think it feels like, or if I remember correctly, it was a way to signify keep the security. Right, it was a security thing. It was a
peace. A peace.
It was a
security piece. Yeah,
solidify all of that. So that's a nice significant point that we get, with that. And before we leave that scene with Tyrion, he pokes at him and he tries to poke, but Tyrion poked back when Theon tried to poke at him. And I think the last little bit when he flicked him a gold coin and told him that your next time with rods is on me, I'll try not to wear out.
Yeah.
Tyrion was a little. He had words, man. He was smooth. He was a little player. If he was a regular sized dude, he'd have told some shit up, bro.
He always had a way with words. But if he was a regular sized dude, we probably wouldn't get that same Tyrion, because a regular sized dude wouldn't probably be interested in reading as much as a Tyrion would be.
Especially being highborn Lannister blood. Yeah.
A regular sized dude, a regular sized Tyrion probably would have been killed
immediately,
a long time ago.
He's too smart.
Highborn.
He's too smart.
Slave. But also a
He would have
regular
been like
sized
Jamie
dude.
though.
Thank you. A regular sized dude, yeah, he would have been damn near Jamie.
He would have been like Jamie, yeah, in a way.
Imagine two Jamies though.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
If Tyrion was a
normal
size,
we possibly couldn't get that because there ain't no other Cersei.
Well, yeah, that's true. I know. He's stupid.
That's funny. Fuck Cersei.
I've never cared about from the beginning. I didn't like Cersei, and I knew I would know why without knowing, but it was just something about the entire setup of her character.
Once we get through this episode, I'll tell y'all why I started to like Cersei. But I know y'all don't. I know y'all don't have a problem with it. Let's get through this first, and then y'all can jump on me.
Okay, pause.
Right. That was crazy. That was actually crazy. We can do what? We can do what after this episode? No, we're not doing none of that, bro. But go ahead with your story, bro. Watch your words, man. We men. We gotta watch our words, dog. That was crazy. I ain't never heard that crazy.
Mason Cameron has gotten to y'all heads. It's so bad.
Ain't no y'all. That's his deal. I understand it, but it is influence.
I understand it too.
You know,
Mason, my favorite rapper. Sheldon, before you were born, Mason's my favorite rapper. No diss to when you was born. But knock it off. You can't be saying crazy shit like that, bro. We'll continue.
We'll move on right quick. We'll touch on that later, pause. We'll get back to that topic later if y'all want to. We can just speak on that later. But
gotcha.
See, he influencing, man. As soon as I'm talking to him, I gotta watch my words. It's all good. No, ain't no judgment. Don't trip, cuz. All right, next we back at the Night's Watch, or we back at the wall at Castle Black. With the men of the Night's Watch, and Rast, punk ass, beats up on Samwell, right?
But this is where we also get introduced to Samwell Tarly.
Is this it? I didn't take that note. I thought we met Sam.
No, this is where we first get introduced.
That's why it's more than one of us. Cool. You want to go ahead with that one?
Yeah, no, this is where we first get introduced to Samwell Tarly. He comes in and pretty much tells them that he's Samwell Tarly of Hornhill, or he was of Hornhill, but now he's a man of the Night's Watch. And we see that Sir Alistair, he says, like, let's see what he got. So he tries to start fighting, but he doesn't even begin to fight. Rast pretty much goes in and just beats him with the sword, and he yields. And
he on the ground real quick.
He keeps telling them to keep beating them until he gets up. But at that point, we see John stop the whole thing, and Sir Alistair then sicks the boys on John.
That's exactly what it was. He sicked them on them like some bloodhounds, boy.
But
like,
John,
you.
John, being who John is, with the type of training that he got from Sir Roderick in the castle, he was able to,
take care of them.
Take care of these boys with no problem.
Yeah, that's the boys being Pip, Grin, and Raz from the Night's Watch.
Absolutely.
We'll see more of those characters.
Very important characters in the future episodes.
Very important characters in the future episodes. Sam admits he's a coward to John, right? He just tells him, he's like, man, I'm just here just because I'm here, and we'll find out later why specifically, but next, we got the next scene where the Dothraki arrive at Vice Dothrak.
Right.
With
Khal Drogo's Khalasar. We see Daenerys, Viserys, and Ser Jorah all, chopping it up as they heading into the city of Vice Dothrak.
And the city of Vice Dothrak is like a holy, sacred city to the Dothraki, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a home place for them.
It said that the city, there's no blood to be spilled in the city.
Yeah.
You can't have weapons in the city.
Can't have weapons in the city, no blood to be spilled in the city, and that's a law that's sacred to them.
Absolutely.
And that'll definitely come into play much later. But not more well later and then much later if
Yeah.
as we get through the entire series, right? It's just actually called the City of the Horse Lords. That's what it is.
Ah, okay.
Vice Dothrak is
The city
translates
of the
to the
horse lord.
City of the Horse Lords. Yep.
Okay.
And Viserys complains again about the conditions and the level, the status, the stature of the people with their rags and their dirty huts and this demeaning. And Daenerys snaps
And
at her, right? And she say, "These are my people."
Yeah.
but
He's like, "No,
Viserys
these
is
are my people. These are just my people, my army. They supposed to give me my Iron Throne." And they having this
exactly.
back and forth for about the third or fourth time we've had a similar conversation with them, right?
Yeah, this is they've been at odds since the Kalasai has been in the play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, well, yeah, especially since the Kalasar came into play with him giving Danny to him, but not realizing the way things are starting to shape up and play out, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on that, in that same scene, we got Jorah and Danny talking about his past life and his wife, right?
Oh, Sir Jorah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jorah Mormont and Daenerys speaking, and he telling her about his past and um how he lost his wife, and it was kind of funny to me how he said, what did he say? She lost his wife. She say, "Where's your wife now?" And he was like, "With another man,
Mm-hmm.
much richer man," or some shit like that. He just like you could tell he just resolved and knew, and the woman was gone. Danny was interested, and he just like, shit, she was somebody else. What I'm gonna say? I lost her. I lost my lands. I disgraced my family because he was being a slaver. Didn't have any money, and he said he did that shit to get money to take care of his wife.
Right.
And now she lost her, and she's with a richer man. Which is just another detail of his past, a little something specific. We'll move on.
But let's talk about what a slaver is. A
Okay.
slaver is somebody. Well, just for the audience, if they don't know, slaver is somebody who enslaves their own people. That's it. That's it. So if you were an African and you had slaves that look like you, that's a slaver.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
In this world, exactly. Now we head to the scene with Viserys and Doria in the bathtub. And it's not a lot of details in it. It just seemed like a sensual little playful thing. She burned him with the wax.
Yeah.
She, did
It
her
seemed like
thing
they
or
just
whatever.
having some. It just seemed like they having some type of intimate conversation, and we learned that what's the girl's name again?
Doria.
We learned that she's like this super interested person in dragons, and she's like so fascinated with dragons. And we also learned that Viserys has a pretty deep knowledge about the Targaryens' history. He tells her about maybe 5 or 6 dragons that he named. That we haven't learned about ourselves. He pretty much tells her some Targaryen facts and history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She hearing tales and myths, and he giving her straight up details. Like
exactly.
You could tell he learned it from somewhere. He has the history and the knowledge of it. I think we may have. She mentioned a man who could change faces. That's a hint to something later, right?
It is.
She did. She said, "I know that I've seen men who can change his face like something like people change their drawers or whatever the Game of Thrones terminology comparison."
That's a very important
in film
detail.
In film, that's called plant and payoff.
Plant and payoff. That's good to know, brother.
When you introduce something, that's gonna make sense later.
Got you. When it doesn't make sense in this moment. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Next scene, we're in the throne room with
in Sansa. Comedy, that would be a callback. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yes.
Got you. Next scene in the throne room with Sansa and Septa Mordain.
Yep.
Sansa speaks about her worries, and she kept being worried and questioning about if she only have girls, what would happen. And Septa kind of tried to play it off and be like, no, you have boys, you have. But she was really worried. She said, Joffrey hates me. He was like, if I marry him and don't have no boys, everyone's gonna hate me.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried to talk to her, and Sepsa Mordain tried to let her know that, we don't know what, but we gonna be hopeful that you're gonna have a bunch of boys and girls.
But she insisted on an answer, so Septa Mordain just pretty much like, well, I mean, if you all have all girls, then I guess the throne would pass to Prince Tommen,
Prince Joffrey's brother.
Yeah, you know. And then she also asked, isn't this the same room that her grandfather and uncle
were murdered,
got burned alive in?
Yep.
And then Septa Mordain told her that's something that she should talk to her father about. You know what I'm saying? Because Septa Mordain don't want to give her no information that she might not want. You know what I mean? She don't want to give her.
Might not want her to know. Exactly. Yeah. That's a good Septa.
Wow. Yeah.
But next we go to the small council meeting where we meet Lord Janos Slint.
Yeah.
And he is requesting more men for the Night's Watch, in the city guard rather. And Ned gives them more men, and they speak of protecting the city, and he gives them people from his personal guard to make sure that they can fight the crime and the stuff going on in the city, right?
Yeah. How many men did he give them?
He gave them 7. He gave them 50 more from the King's Guard, and then 20 more from his own personal detail lord.
His own personal guard.
And on the next episode, we'll touch on that.
Yeah, that'll definitely come into play. Yep. It always is. Hey, it's what you just call it again. A plan and what?
Plan and payoff.
Plan and payoff.
Comedy, a callback. Yeah.
Yes,
Comedy's called the callback. Got you.
Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I was gonna just head to the next part of the next scene where he dismisses the small council, and then Grand Maester Pycelle. He and Grand Maester Pycelle have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Grand Maester Pycelle, as they speak about Jon Arryn, he referred to a book that Jon Arryn was interested in, and it also piqued the interest of Ned Stark. So Ned Stark wanted to see the book, and Grand Maester Pycelle, it's just a book. He's like, I want to see the book. So we head over.
I'd like to read it.
I'd like to read it. And it was like, it wasn't a suggestion, but he didn't need to get loud about it to direct him. So it's called The Book of Images and History of the Thousands of Kings. That was the name of the book that Ned got from Grand Maester Pycelle. Maester.
It was described as a ponderous read.
A ponderous read. That's what he said. I couldn't get it. I didn't know which P word it was, but Jon Arryn, Grand Maester Pycelle reminded Ned Stark of Jon Arryn's last words, which is,
"The seed is strong."
The seed is strong.
The seed is strong.
And the seed is strong.
And then from there, we get Ned asking Grand Maester Pycelle, like, do you think what happened to Jon Arryn could have been poison? Because Grand Maester Pycelle, with him being the Grand Maester, he was the one who examined his body. He pretty much gave him an autopsy back in those times.
Before that, he was the one that was treating him as he fell ill.
Yeah. And as soon as he fell ill, he was the one who was taking care of him. Yeah. That's an absolute fact.
Also, I want to add that last words are very important on the new joint House of Dragon and Game of Thrones with Jon Arryn's last words. Sometimes
can be misconstrued.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
There you go. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. I understand exactly what you're referring to. But Ned suggests about the poison that it's a woman's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And Grand Maester Pycelle, in his typical fashion, tries to.
He's like a Varys.
He's another version of Varys and Littlefinger, in my opinion. He not only denies it,
but he suggests that
it could be the eunuch Varys, and tries to make the topic about Varys.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to point the finger away from Ned Stark's assumption of it being a woman's weapon. And the only women that we could be talking about are either Lysa or Cersei, but of course he's looking at Cersei.
And that's also what you just pointed out earlier, Jabron. I'm sorry, Lord G. Dot.
Yeah,
That was what do you call it? A plant and what do you call that?
plan and payoff.
Plant and payoff. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. But Ned takes the book and continues during his investigation, and he walks right into our with Arya, who's out balancing on one foot, trying to balance on one toe, balancing on one foot. Speaking of all the lessons she's learned so far from Serial says you should, what is it? You should study, all swordsmen should study cats because of their quickness and their balance. And as they speak, Ned again reiterates that Bran is. They reiterate he's crippled and he will not be a man of the King's Guard, which was what he wanted to do ultimately. And he said maybe he can be something else, a woodsmith or a lord, and run a castle. You know what I mean? And
Lord of a Holdfast.
And Arya's like, then he tells Arya, you're gonna
be a lady.
You're gonna marry a lord, have little lords, a bunch of sons, and she like, that's the typical Arya. Like, no, that's not me.
That. Yeah,
I don't want that. That's not what I'm gonna be. And she got right back up and went and started balancing again, doing her little swordsman. That was the beginning of the Arya journey with the swordsman, the fighting, the battle that she will head through to in this episode. Oh well,
absolutely.
in this series, right? Let's see. Well, okay, we back to the wall with Jon and Samuel at the top of the wall. Lord Alistair sent them up there to be guards since they so buddies, and Sam was saved by Jon, so that was a punishment to make Jon have to deal with Sam now. And Sam points out that, again, he already said he's a coward, and he was basically forced to be there, but he get into a little more detail with this one.
Oh, right? Yeah.
You remember this scene, Lord G-Dot? Top of the wall with Sam and Jon, and then we find out what Lord Tarly told Lord Tarly told them, right?
Yeah, but I would like Sheldon to touch on it. Pause.
Okay, my fault. Go ahead, Sheldon.
He pretty much was explaining to Jon why he became a member of the Night's Watch. He was telling him that his father, ever since he was a kid, his father really didn't like him. You know what I mean? His mother was always the one that was like coddling him since growing up. And then he told him on his 18th name day, which is the way they describe a birthday. On his 18th name day, they would go hunting, him, his brother, and his father. And during the hunt, at some point, he would lose balance on his horse and fall and die. Or at least that's what his mother would have heard. So he pretty much told him that if he don't go join the Night's Watch, he gonna kill him himself.
Exactly.
He told him that he wasn't worthy of his lands and titles.
Exactly.
And he said specifically, we're going to go on the hunt. Your horse will stumble and you'll be thrown from your saddle to die. Absolutely. Or so that's what I'll tell your mother. Nothing will please me more. This is the man's father telling him this, bro.
Yes, that's his father.
That's a quote. That's an exact quote of what Samuel Tarly's father told him. After Jon asked him, why did you take the black? Like, you're blind, you can't fight, you scared of heights and everything else. What are you doing here? And this is what he tell him. And Jon is just like,
that's crazy.
What? And then at the end of that conversation, Samuel was worried that he's going to have to fight tomorrow, bro. He said, Sir Alistair's going to make me fight again tomorrow. What am I going to do? And Sam was like, probably going to lose, but shit, just fight. You know what I mean?
And then he told him, it ain't like he going to get any better. But Jon told him, it ain't like you can get any worse.
True,
right. That's what he told him.
Right after that, if I'm not mistaken, we learned about Ned Stark goes to see, if I'm not mistaken, Tone, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ned Stark goes to see the blacksmith.
Yeah, Ned Stark does too
No,
much.
not quite yet. The next scene is Ned was walking. I believe it picks up from Ned leaving Maester Pycelle because I think he still has the book with him, and he runs into Peter, the little sneaky Peter Baelish, aka Littlefinger.
Got you.
And they speak about all the whisperers and the people around.
They walk through the garden.
They walk through the garden, and Peter Baelish points out that's Varys' spy, that's my spy, that's Cersei's spy. And he's the one that put Ned Stark onto the trail of the blacksmith at the top of the street.
Exactly.
And,
Got you.
Yeah. So from there, that's where he learned Jon Arryn visited him quite a bit prior to his death.
Quite often.
That becomes the automatic next investigation or step in Ned's investigation. And Jory sends Ned Stark sends Jory next scene to Sir Hugh of the Vale, which was Jon Arryn's former squire, and he was knighted almost immediately after Jon Arryn's death, weirdly and suspiciously, right? And from there, he rejects Ned Stark's request for the meeting, or he rejects the note that Jory had for Ned Stark, the message, right? And then from there, we head to the blacksmith at the top of the hill, or at the end of the street.
They in Flea Bottom.
And then street and Flea Bottom, the street of steel. So from there, we'll just pick up here, and we're gonna just show it instead of us trying to get it wrong. We're gonna just show it, right?
Exactly.
Here we go.
I've never seen an arrow coming their way.
You shouldn't be out here, my lord. There's no telling who has eyes where.
Let them look.
I thought my hand did call on me, my lord, several times. I regret to say he did not honor me with his patronage.
What did Lord Arryn want?
Always came to see the boy.
I'd like to see him as well.
As you wish, my lord. Gendry! Here he is. Strong for his age. Works hard. Show the hand the helmet you made, lad.
First appearance of this bull helmet.
And it's cold.
Work.
It's not for sale.
Very cold.
Lordship, it's it for me. Forgive it, my lord.
There's nothing to forgive. When Lord Arryn came to visit you, what would you talk about?
Just ask me questions is all, my lord.
What kind of questions?
About my work, first. If I was being treated well, if I liked it here. Then he started asking me about my mother.
Your mother?
Who she was, what she looked like.
What did you tell him?
She died when I was little.
Yellow hair.
She had yellow hair. She'd sing to me sometimes.
Look at me.
Oh, shit. Forgot.
Get back to work, lad. If the day ever comes when that boy would rather wield a sword than forge one,
send him to me.
Send him to me.
Find anything?
King Robert's bastard son.
There we go. There we go, man. Now we couldn't have described that better than to just show it. I love that right there.
Yeah, I don't think we could have explained that no better than what we just seen. So yeah, we just learned that King Robert has a bastard son.
Oh God.
And that's who Jon Arryn was going to see and learn. Try to. He pretty much was looking after the boy.
Jon Arryn, hand of the king. That's who was keeping up on King Robert's bastard son, Jon Arryn. Just to reiterate that for the audience.
Yeah, his knowledge of it was there, but the potential threat, scared the Lannisters. So it appears that they had something to do with it, right? Well, that's
Of
what we
the
think anyway.
of the potential succession in line, which, as we know in Game of Thrones, bastards,
They are not part of the line of succession.
yeah,
Absolutely not.
Gotcha.
They do have the
Case
blood,
in point, Jon Snow heading to the wall.
Case
Exactly.
in point.
Yeah.
And,
No titles or lands. You shall have no family. You shall have no kids. You bear no children.
Yeah.
From there, if I'm not mistaken, we see we go to Jory and Jamie.
Yeah, they speaking on the siege of Pike, while Robert is in the chambers with all these women, and there's an exchange back and forth with them. That's respectful.
It's slightly respectful. Jamie ain't got no respect in this scene, man.
he ain't lying.
No, I believe that. I'm just saying it was slightly respectful because they would kind of went back and forth and talked. He didn't talk down to him about the siege of Pike. He said that's where you got your scar, and it was something, I forget the guy with the flaming sword or some shit like that happened.
Thoros of Myr.
Thoros of Myr. There we go with the flaming sword, which is a put down the payoff.
A power. What do you call it, Jerron?
Plant and payoff. Plant and
payoff. I
There
need
we
to
go.
remember that.
There we go.
Well, I'm gonna just say it's a callback.
It's 15,000 of them in this series
I'm
alone.
just say it's a callback.
Oh God.
There we go. Stick to your lingo. That's better. I just know as a writer, as a filmmaker, that's something I need to know.
I'm gonna stick to my jargon.
There we go. Jamie rejects the message from Ned via Jory, and
what does he tell him when he rejects it? He said, "This is a message from Lord Stark." He tell him, "I don't serve Lord Stark."
There you go. That another.
So obviously,
Stark versus Lannister. Another
Stark
versus Lannister. Yep, you already know it. We've seen it already, even when they're face to face, which is definitely as entertaining as it gets, and it's not done right. Now we go back to the wall with John and Sam in the dining hall, speaking about. No, John is in the dining hall with Pip and Grin.
Pip, Grin, and John.
John
there,
speaking about Sam being a. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. John pretty much telling them why they should, protect Sam, because he's telling them, man, he just like us. He ain't had nowhere else to go in the world, so he came here. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no different from us. So let's look out for him. He's a brother
of the Night's Watch now. We got to look out for him in that way. Talking about right, and then Ras overhears and make his comments about the little piggy, and he said if he puts me up against him, I'm gonna make him squeal and make him bleed. And John just looked at him like, oh man, he just wanted to say something in that moment, but it was really nothing he could say. Ras could do what he was told if Alistair tells him to fight him, right? And he's proven that he'll do it the way he beat him earlier in the episode until he got up, which he never got up. So Ras is from there. Yeah, we got a cold last scene. That should have been a scene that we play. I should have remembered this.
This should have been a nice one.
This should have been it right here. But this is a good scene with the setup being everyone sleep in the quarters.
Yeah.
And John comes in and grabs Ras and tell him don't fuck with Sam. And who we see, we get a guest appearance by Ghost, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ghost done grew, brother. Ghost is big as shit now. Very scary and threatening at this point.
Yeah, he about the same size as Summer was when we saw him in the bed with Bran.
Yeah,
in that
nice size. Not quite fully grown yet, but grown different.
Grown enough.
Grown enough to be threatening and scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got he threatens. That's when he threatens him to tell him to stop messing with Sam. Don't touch Sam. Right. We go automatically to the next day out in the courtyard in the at the battle yard, whatever they call it, and Alistair 6 Ras again on Sam, and he knew better.
Sam was scared, man. He didn't want to touch. I'm sorry, not Sam. Ras.
Ras was terrified.
He didn't want to touch.
Samuel was scared, but Ras was terrified, and he did not want to. He knew better at that point to lay off of Sam, right?
Absolutely.
He had just got his life threatened the night before.
Yeah, Nigga said, "You do something to him, I'm gonna do
We
something
gonna
to
do
you."
something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Super pause.
Exactly.
And he saw, and he knows how how Jon Snow gets down. He's seen him hand in hand. It's like,
So he already know.
He know
You
Jon
can't
Snow the
battle
best
him.
swordsman
You're not
out
gonna
there.
kick his ass. And then we got the dire wolf, so you got that level of threat.
Thank you.
And then John kicking your ass. It's not worth it to be fucking with Sam no more,
it
right?
ain't.
So at
He
that
was
point,
he was looking around like,
what? Yeah,
I'm looking around. Like, bro, your ass is gonna be whooped.
yeah.
Several
You better
times.
heed that warning you was given.
Yeah.
So Sir Alistair notices this, and he threatens Jon Snow with about protecting Sam.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you go get somebody killed, you out there in battle, and you want to, but St.
You
John's
want a
like,
man at your back?
you
Or
want a man or a
sniveling coward?
sniveling coward. That's a crazy way to dig at somebody's manhood, bro. Like,
You ain't lying.
you know what I'm saying? It's very disrespectful. So we got is this the scene where after Viserys in the tub with the girl Dory, he comes and he yells at Danny again. She tries to give him some
Dothraki
clothing,
rags.
some Dothraki. He throw the rags. He all upset, pissed off at her. He put his hands on her this scene.
It stinks of manure.
Yeah, I am a king. I am a dragon. I want my Iron Throne, and Khal Drogo will give it to me. He's still on his whole power trip, man. It's getting crazier and crazier, especially his interactions with Danny start to heat up for real.
I think this was the scene where he tried to choke her, or he slapped her.
He slapped her, I believe.
Ground,
yeah.
She turned around and hit him with like a golden chain and cut his face.
And she told him if he touch her again, it's gonna be ugly for him. I forget her exact words.
The next time you raise your hand to me will be the last time you have
that hand.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't know exactly what it was. I knew it was threatening directly to him. Like, bro, I'm a Khaleesi now, fam. Chill out with all this shit. We are not in Westeros, buddy.
On kids.
They wasn't never in Westeros.
They was born
they
there.
were.
They was born there.
They were ever there. They
you know what I mean.
Back.
Y'all both right.
They trying to get back.
Yeah,
that's all that is. They done
right.
Essos, Pentos. They done went a long journey. They ain't even actually on the as far as they go get. But anyway, next scene is Sam and John speak at the wall about their connection with women, right?
Yeah.
Or lack thereof, I guess we say at this.
Very lack thereof.
Very much lack thereof.
Very much.
Super lack thereof.
Very much so. Now we head to the King's. Is it the King's Name Day? King's Name Day celebration.
Robert? No, this is still the
celebrating something.
This is still the hand.
Okay, that expensive tournament that was an issue for Ned Stark. I get it. Yeah. So now we have Sir Hugh of the Vale, John Aaron's former squire, now turned knight, in a joust against the Mountain. Describe what happened there.
Well, pretty much, Sir Hugh of the Vale was taken out by the Mountain. They did one tourney, one joust.
One joust.
A joust is when a knight is on this. Okay, so say this is it's two sides, right? One knight is on this side, one knight is on this side. The objective of it is to knock the knight off of their horse.
Gotcha.
So one knight is running this way, the other knight is running this way, and they got a stick in their hand to try to knock the knight off the horse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what a joust is. And within this match, Sir Hugh of the Vale gets stabbed in the neck by a wooden stick during the joust, and that's how Sir Hugh of the Vale is his demise happens. That's how his demise happens.
Also, I'm not going against nobody that's called the Mountain.
Exactly.
That's especially with the reputation already that we know from him. I wouldn't win again. I'm cool
calling
on
in
that.
sick. I'm calling in sick, bro.
I can't do it. His name is the Mountain.
I'm just became a knight, bro. What we talk? I can't get nobody at my level for my first couple tourneys of joust or whatever. I gotta take the Mountain.
Put another new knight up against me. Like, come on, man.
Some give me Podrick, bro. I take make him a knight or something.
Make Podrick a knight right quick, and we can go up against each other.
There we go.
Yeah, the mountain, nigga. No, I ain't that noble.
Look, we just confused so many audience members. Y'all gonna learn about
possibly. We'll get there. I didn't even mean to bring that up, but I'm just thinking somebody at a lower level, at least. Goodness.
Yeah.
Next we got Ned. Ned speaks with Cersei. Kind of a conversation of trying to be peaceful.
Wait, I'm sorry. Before we go there, we learned the story about the mountain and the hound. Right after the scene where Sir Hugh was taken out, we learned what the origin between these two brothers are.
Yeah, Littlefinger is talking to Sansa,
and he explains to her
the history of the hound, how he got his face burned, the hound in the Clegane name and their house, the Cleganes. Yeah.
We learned that pretty much the mountain thought that the hound was playing, or he stole one of his toys when they was kids, and the mountain pushed his little brother in the fire because he was upset that he stole one of his toys. So that's what happened there. That's how the whole side of his face got burned and
all that shit, all into his scalp, into his hairline, all that shit gone.
Exactly. So, and we also learned that not too many people in the Seven Kingdoms know that story. And if the mountain was to, if the hound was to find out that story was out there, he would want to take out whoever got that story in their head. So, you got to be very careful of who you tell that story and how you let that story go out, and you know what I'm saying. So that's I wanted to point that out. I felt like that was very important.
It's pointed. Got you. Ned speaks to Cersei next, right? And
tries to fake squash the beef.
You know, there. But Ned wasn't going for it though.
Yeah.
Ned
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all talking about Ned. We got to keep it real. Ned.
Hold on, wait. Let's talk about this in the spoiler section because I feel like
I was just saying, we running out of time anyway. It's cutting up close anyway. That's why I was trying to get to the next scene.
It's only 2 scenes left anyway.
Right, but anything particular from the Ned and Cersei scene, other than Cersei was trying to play nice, but she really was on some bullshit. But Ned saw right through it, kind of.
Yeah, she was trying to pretty much ask what are you doing here? Nothing you're gonna do is gonna help your friend Robert. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do, like he's been doing for the last 17 years anyway. So you being here is not a non-factor. She was pretty much trying to put into his head that he's not gonna be able to help his friend. But Ned is on the fact of like, I don't care if I'm gonna be able to help him or not. I'm just here doing my duty. And she on the so you just a soldier. You just do what you told and just go about your day. And he like, well, I mean, I was also taught to kill my enemies. You know, that's what a soldier is taught. And she hit him back with the "as was I."
Yeah, and
I got you.
And my response would have been, "Have you ever killed a man with your own hands?"
That's probably no. I mean, we're talking about Cersei, so.
But if you're gonna respond to me as the hand of the king, fuck being hand of the king. But
man,
Lord, thank you. Well, thank you, Lord of Winterfell. Though the biggest kingdom, don't ever talk to me about killing nobody. Woman, are you crazy?
Especially in those times, yeah.
As was I. You a Lannister. You highborn ass lady.
From there. We have we cut back to somewhere in the north where they are at some type of like barkeep or restaurant or whatever the case may be.
Tyrion on his way from Winterfell. Catelyn's on her way to Winterfell. They cross paths at that. I don't know if it was a brothel because Cat wouldn't have been there. It was just an inn, a tavern.
Cat was on her way. Cat was on her way to King's Landing at that point.
Nah, Cat left King's Landing and was going back to Winterfell.
You're absolutely right. I apologize.
And Tyrion was leaving the wall through Winterfell through. And when they were in the tavern.
Yeah, she got a text about where she got a text. I'm telling you. And then she ran up into Buddy, and then that whole confrontation happened. And when she said blah blah blah, and then they up sword.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm skipping
she was
forward.
pretty much trying to find out who all was in the room. She looking around the room to see whose sigils is whose and who you know what I mean? Because in that part of the country, she has a type of power that like no other. She's Lady of Winterfell, and Winterfell is the biggest castle in the north.
She's the Warderness of the North.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Technically, Queen of the North, but there can
much.
only be one queen, so it's not really the queen.
The Warderness of the North, and she sees that a lot of the soldiers that's sitting around, they are under her father's bannerman. They are her father is their liege lord.
Yeah,
the
the
big
Tullys.
big Tullys.
Yeah.
Big Tullys.
Yeah, the Tullys are though everybody that's in there. So she's saying somebody from the Fray. She's saying somebody from House Bracken. She's
right, but the point is she captured Tyrion, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We can get into it if we got time later. I'm just trying to get through it so we don't get cut off.
Okay. Yeah, no. So this is where she takes Tyrion captive because she is under the impression that Tyrion was behind arming the assassin that tried to take out her son.
Exactly.
Right, and that's where the episode ends right there.
Exactly. We see the episode end with swords in Tyrion's face.
All over Tyrion, around Tyrion, and it's just
and
like
also let's not forget to mention the fact that he was with Yoren at the time, a brother of the Night's Watch.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind, audience. That's going to be very important for the very next episode.
Understood. Yeah. Got you.
So from here, Tone, we got to give them what we want to give them.
We got to give them. Hold on. Warning. First of Its Name podcast is not responsible for ruining Game of Thrones for you. Proceed with caution at your own risk.
You better.
Spoiler alert, baby. Now we can talk about
anything else we go talk about if you don't want to hear it.
No.
Hey, you don't want to say bye, but hey.
You said, first of all, Ned is retired. Like, what was you finna say?
Well, first of all, them Stark, spoiler alert, I'm Lord G. Dot. And I'm from North London. Anyway, but but yeah, Lord Stark is a very, very noble man. He asked too many questions. Lord Stark found the answer before he already knew the answer to his questions, but he kept on. Why I got this high pitched voice? Let me do my regular voice. This nigga knew the answers way before
he got the answers.
He just needed more answers.
He just wanted confirmation.
He had confirmation.
What other confirmation is there to get though? Really?
Nigga, he didn't.
Cersei telling him what she told him.
Nigga, but he didn't see the same shit that John Aaron saw. He saw that little baby.
I mean, shit.
Shit. Oh yeah, spoilers. He saw that little baby. He saw that what's that nigga name? The blacksmith.
Yeah.
He saw that nigga. He had everything that he needed to know after he read the book that all said that their hair was golden.
Yeah.
And everything after he saw that the Baratheons lineage was all hair of black.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would you keep on going on and asking questions? You could have took that shit back to this nigga and it would have been up. It would have been cool.
I think that's what a message from Jory to Robert was gonna lead to, in my opinion. I think by Jamie stopping Jory from getting that message to Robert stops Robert's ability to communicate with Ned, but Ned was still separate. Robert was there. He was right at King's Landing.
You think that letter was that?
I think the letter was some way, not that saying nothing, no specific details, but I think that letter getting to Robert or that message getting to Robert would have led for them to communicate sooner. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if, spoiler alert, if we get to the understanding of what ultimately happened to Robert, nothing happened to Ned officially. I mean, he got some pokey poke stabby shit going on next, but my point is nothing really could happen to Ned Stark. Ned Stark wasn't going to have the power to do anything while Robert was still alive.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
Robert wasn't go for it. If Robert wasn't going for it, then there was nothing. It'd have been nothing nobody been able to do. You get what I mean?
True. That's true. Oh, yeah, man. I got a question for y'all. I should have asked it before we did the spoiler alerts, but I ask it now. Why is Littlefinger called Littlefinger? We learned it in this episode.
That's something Lord G Dot does not know. Lord G Dot don't know that.
It's literal. He was born with small hands.
He was born in a place called the Fingers.
That is what it was.
Yes, he is from the Fingers. And you know what it looked like on the map, right? We should put the map up. Well, maybe in the edit. But yeah, he's the Fingers, nigga.
He's from, and he was a small boy growing up, so he was always little.
Gotcha. So okay.
That's why they call him Little
Finger. Gotcha. I knew it was something. I don't know.
It's an exceedingly clever nickname.
Yeah.
I got one for y'all, but I think you already answered it too, Tom.
What was that?
Yeah, you already answered it. I was gonna ask what was the name of the book.
What was what?
Yeah, we ain't hear that shit.
Say it again. You muted yourself?
This nigga is a famous comedian, so people calling him.
Let's see.
Yeah, Tom. So in the next episode, I really want to get all right.
My bad, y'all.
All right, so what the fuck were you saying?
If I'm not mistaken, I was saying, Sir Tom Roy, you had already answered the question that I was gonna ask, and it was a question about what was the name of the book that Ned Stark wanted to read.
Oh, okay, yep, the history.
But you already answered it though.
The lineages and histories of the great houses of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till later on when we can ask what book did Samuel Tarly read and where did he read it at?
Yeah. The Citadel.
And where did he find a lineage of somebody else?
Mm-hmm. That's how that's all that happened. Him and Gilly and the baby going little Sam going up there to the Citadel. That's where it starts.
I have to search for that name. I wouldn't know that name.
Oh, that's seasons later.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know it off the top of my head right now, but
I was gonna tell y'all too why I started to like Cersei, because y'all said y'all hate this bitch.
Oh yeah, we do hate this bitch. So why do you? Yeah, why did you start to like Cersei?
I'm gonna tell y'all why I started to like her.
That scroll look good, Tom.
She
right on.
Obviously, I don't like her character at all.
Of course.
Throughout the first few seasons, but her development after the High Sparrow had did his thing, I think I explained this to you already, Tom. And we are in the spoiler alert section. So if y'all reading it or listening to this, it's not my fault. We already warned y'all.
Got you.
The way she was able to take out everybody was just the coldest shit in the world to me. Like, she became the queen.
I mean, not everybody, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like
the one that she didn't fucking understand. She didn't understand Daenerys, so she fought her the way she thought she could fight Westerosis in whatever the fuck, right? Exactly. So her entire, you know what I'm saying, understanding of knowing how to get shit situated with the Starks. You get what I'm saying? Knowing how to have issues with the Tyrells and how to maneuver things later on. You get what I mean? But this Targaryen whore, that's she called the fucking Targaryen whore, Western whore, whatever the fuck she called her.
The whore of Dragonstone.
Nah.
Yo, when them dragons, this is spoiler alert, when them dragons landed, everybody knows that close-up of Cersei's face. And she tried to be unimpressed, but you saw the fear on her face. She was
she was scared, man.
I know, but it was subtle. It was a subtle fear.
Also, I want to point out the fact that this is an unpopular opinion, but Tyrion, as hand of Queen Daenerys, he didn't do that great of a job with constructing a plan.
Well,
I think he did a good job as Daenerys's hand when they was in Marine and all that shit with the Slavers Bay and shit. No, hell no.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
did a good
Daenerys
job, in
listened
my opinion.
to shit that he said.
She
So I
wouldn't
don't
listen
think
to
that-
most things that would have helped them and all the issues that eventually happened. He had a better plan, a solution, and she just didn't want to hear the shit.
I'm gonna say that bitch didn't listen. She ain't listened to hardly nothing that came from anything that came from her head or fucking Sir, the other nigga, Sir Jorah.
If
Right.
she would have listened to anybody, she was supposed to listen to Olenna Tyrell, who told her when she first got over there with the full power of her army, still 3 dragons, still 8,000 unsullied.
Go now.
Still the fucking Dorn. You got the Dornish army.
Martell,
you got the Tyrell army. You got the Greyjoy army. You got the Dothraki army. You got the Unsullied army.
Yep.
You got 3 dragons.
You right.
Be a dragon.
Yeah, she didn't listen.
If she would have been a dragon at that very moment,
oh God,
she'd have been to King's Land.
She didn't become
ancestors.
Yeah, like they all did. She didn't become
like her ancestors did.
They didn't
like she needed to do. She didn't do that until she turned mad. I think once she lost her shit,
you only got 1 dragon left at this point.
You should have flew down on shit. But you know what? Man. I'm glad she didn't because she was a fucking psycho. Since this is spoilers alert, she was a fucking psycho. And it just took a little while for it to come out.
If we being honest, you should have seen this shit. You remember when she first took the Unsullied?
I do, but
the dragons was tiny. They were small.
They
were
small.
They could still burn a motherfucker, but they were small.
Drogon still ran around and burnt up every nobleman.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember correctly, he burnt up every nobleman around that bitch.
On kids.
Come on, man. This bitch been a tyrant.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of that was off the slaving off. It was like a different thing versus her getting to taking King's Landing or fighting.
Them motherfuckers were slave owners and shit, which she didn't like.
That was it. The mother, the unbroken, the mother
breaker of chains.
The breaker of chains. Yeah, that shit.
Bitch, so. Hey, Cersei so cold when she captured old girl and say, "So much for the breaker of chains."
That's true.
Cersei was cold. I ain't gonna lie. That was a cold bitch. That was
she
a cold bitch.
But
I got her head chopped off. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I ain't like the way it went down with that. That was too easy in my opinion. It should have been
beautiful,
gruesome.
Yeah.
It should have been gruesome.
The plans that she had for Lady Olenna should have happened to her ass.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She deserved to be
easy way.
Yeah, extra. She deserved to die a horrible death.
And
we're talking about
gruesome, the most deviant, the most disrespectful way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree.
And Jamie,
let
right
me go back right quick though.
Let
me go right quick. Nah, I don't agree with that. The last part you said, but real, let me touch back on something we just was talking about with everything Daenerys had. She had no Westerosis with her. She had no houses. I mean, at that time, she had the Tyrell army, but she had no one from the north. I think that was what stopped her. But she couldn't. They told her she can't come take the throne in Westeros with a foreign army. Her army was mostly foreign. Yeah, and even if it wasn't mostly foreign, all they heard when they said that she was coming, Dothraki, Unsullied, foreigners. You get what I'm saying? So I think that is the reason why she held off before she did the attack.
Trust me, I get what his plan was. I get his plan was you got to try to get the people on your side before you get there. Yeah. You got to try. But what I'm saying is her ancestors, them motherfuckers didn't know nobody from Westeros before they came over there. When Aegon the Conqueror came over there, that's the whole point behind his name. He conquered shit.
Yeah, he created the Iron Throne and all of that.
He went over there and made motherfuckers do what he said out of fear. And I'm sure, like they mentioned in first episode of season 2, House of the Dragon, when Jacaerys and Kriegenstock was talking, when he was like, I'm sure the king in the north would have soon been burned to death than bend the knee if he didn't think that Aegon the Conqueror was actually doing some shit right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Very
Aegon
true.
the Conqueror came over there and conquered shit.
True.
With 3 dragons, the same amount as Aegon had when he first conquered Westeros.
That's very true. But I'm saying before, at that point, it hadn't been many attacks on King's Landing. So in my mind, if she had to listen to Olenna Tyrell and became a dragon and just attacked with what she had at the time, she'd have lost the people.
True.
That's my opinion.
I'm sure
if
she
you
would have
look
lost
at
the
it,
people.
if you look at it, she lost the people anyway in the end because of what she ultimately did.
The same result happened.
The same result was it felt like one of them butterfly effect things. You change, you can't change something, or you can't change a thought because of the action. Once she would have attacked King's Landing and took the Iron Throne that way, you know what I'm saying? The way she took it in actuality became still just as bad for her.
Yeah,
Sir Tone.
But
there was a way to do something on King's Landing without killing the people, and the way was to show up with a dragon, because as we know, everybody knows that the dragons died hundreds of years ago. So just the mere presence of a dragon would have sunned people. Yeah. King's Landing would have
just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
King's Landing would have, the soldiers in the white cloaks or the gold cloaks, depending on what year we're talking about, they would have stood. But there was a way, just the presence of it. It's kind of like just up and thumper, like me. It's kind of like Up and Banger on some peaceful people. You know what I'm saying? When they have knives. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta. I'm not gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying? But the presence should have been a deterrence.
Yeah.
It not should have been. It would have been a deterrence because they know their history. So she could have just landed the dragon, the same way that she did in a dragon pit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And Cersei was like, she ain't got no fucking dragons, and them niggas pulled up
with the multiples at the time.
Exactly.
She only had 2 by then.
She could have had 1.
It wouldn't have mattered, right? Yeah.
It would not have mattered. You know
Bro, that's a weapon of mass destruction at that time.
Thank you.
That's a nuclear bomb.
Thank you. It's a WMD.
It's a WMD, definitely. Then you got multiple ones. It turns into something different when people start looking at you like, they fear you. And then, without the murdering and all burning the whole fucking city down, she'd have been able to, she'd have conquered the same way Aegon did, but she wouldn't have had to murder. But the way she did it just was, horrible. They was ringing the bells and she was up that motherfucker fuming like the bells made it worse. They ringing the bells. If you there, we'll open this. You can have it all. And she just sat there and took all the anger she ever had in her life out on it as she looking. Because if you imagine her sitting on that dragon looking, all that was taken from her family.
On Julio Cristo.
Murdered, brother murdered, father murdered. Her and the other brother got to go on the run for 18, 19 years.
You made a great point, Jabron, when you said that just the mere presence of a dragon would have deterred all of that. Because if you think about it, Aegon the Conqueror, he didn't kill many people when he came and conquered shit. He made motherfuckers bend the knee. Like the king in the north, Torrhen Stark, he bent the knee. The only motherfuckers that got burnt alive was the motherfuckers who didn't want to bend the knee. Like Harren the Black.
Yeah.
That's why Harrenhal is burnt up from the top.
Yeah.
That's the only reason Harrenhal is burnt up from the top, because can't no army get through Harrenhal on the ground. Like Tywin Lannister said, a million men could have marched against these walls, and a million men could have been repelled. But an attack from the top, just like the Vale.
No defense for that, yeah.
Just like the
Vale, yeah.
Wide open, yep.
An attack from the top. Nobody, Harren and his sons roasted alive in these halls.
Nigga.
So if she would have came and been on the same shit that her ancestor Aegon the Conqueror was on, I think it would have went totally different. But by her listening to Tyrion's plan, which was actually a good plan to have when you think about it, but at the same time, none of it worked.
Also, hold on, keep your point, but also, if all that worked, she still would have been a terrible fucking ruler because she demanded absolute everything, and that's not how you rule anything. And she would have been the victim of a queen slayer, and the same thing would have happened again, because absolute everything. Thank you. Absolute everything is crazy. You're gonna get killed. Somebody's gonna kill your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no I'm Laura G. Everybody respects everything I say. We can have dissension, we can have discussions, we can have all these things. If I rule with absolute power, then there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get smoked. You're gonna get the sword in your back, or your face, or Milk of Poppy, or the Liz. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get killed. You know what I'm saying? So regardless if she took over the kingdom, the way her thought process was, she was gonna have to die. And
yeah, because no doubt. Because if you think about like what Tyrion said, when like this is a spoiler alert, but after everything happened, you remember what Tyrion said? He was like, have you listened to what she was saying out there? You think that's somebody that's finished?
Mm-hmm.
Like she just conquered the 7 kingdoms. You think she just gonna stop here?
Right there, but that was based on her seeing what she did in Marine, seeing what she did.
Exactly.
All that shit with the Sons of the Harpy and the Slaver's Bay and all that. You know what I mean? He saw it already built
side of the world.
But he knew that she wasn't gonna stop there. She was gonna be a conqueror in her own way, even if she was the breaker of chains and shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Fuck all that. I don't give no fuck about no breaker of chains. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And that's on the 7 gods and the 7 kingdoms, nigga. That bitch would have been.
What the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
He back.
Oh shit.
I don't know what that was.
And it's a spoiler alert, nigga, because nigga, it already came up in the segment. She would have been.
We already let them know that it's a spoiler alert. If they still watching at this point, then they just fishing for spoilers.
Got you. Nah, but she literally would have been a terrible fucking ruler. If you didn't first of all, if you ain't been in, nigga, once she killed, I knew 3 seasons before. Once she killed the fucking Tullys, I said,
the way she did it.
I mean,
that whole thing, yeah.
I mean, the Tarleys. I'm sorry, the Tarleys. Once she killed Samuel Tarley Daddy and Dickon Tarley, I said, oh, bitch, it's up. It's up.
Yeah. You already know what she's capable of in that moment, and she wasn't even touching the surface of what she would really be able to do. Yeah, we all understood that. But man, this is a good episode, family. This is a good one, man.
I think so too.
Yeah, this is a good one here.
I'm glad we was able to finally get Lord G. on here.
Lord G. Yeah.
There you go. We about to end this here.
Every episode y'all can get Lord G. from here from now on. So Lord G. is available.
Thank you, my lord.
Oh, no problem, my lord.
My lord. My lord. But yeah, that's that.
Damn, I am low born, so I gotta say me lord.
We all low born, I believe.
Oh yeah. I'm a knight, knuckle.
Yeah. Not Tony.
You the only one that can say my lord.
Turn to sir.
There you go.
But no, we all lord. So you know what I'm saying? I can say my lord. You already know.
But yeah, that was that's the end of episode 4, First of Its Name podcast. We look forward to giving you all much more.
Yes, sir.
Like, subscribe, follow, share, remix,
and don't forget to answer that question in the comments. Why is Jon Snow a virgin?
There we go.
We know he's a virgin.
Of the screen.
Tell us why.
Why?
Get in the comments and let us know. I am Sir Tone Roy.
I am Lord Sheldon.
And I am Lord G. In the house.
In the house. There we go. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Go over there. Join us on our IG. Scroll on the bottom of the screen for you. I kind of messed up not putting them there earlier. Most of it. I think I didn't start doing them until after the spoiler alert, but we'll get that figured out. You know, the First of His Name podcast. That's what it is.
And that's what it's going to be.
Peace out.
Baby.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man,
Later,
thank
folks.
y'all, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all, please continue to support us. We got something for y'all every time, man. Guaranteed.
Gotcha. Later on, people. Peace.
Peace.